Ready? PFP community. I'm here with two of PFP's finest coaches. One I've known since he was in diapers. Not really, get that image out of your head. And then the other just joined the PFP team recently and joined the PFP community really recently. But I wanted to bring them on the CoachSpiration series. We haven't done one of these in a while, but wanted to get some of their just background in coaching, why they coach, inspire you a little bit here, and then you guys haven't been on this series before, but this CoachSpiration series, we really want to inspire other coaches around the world who may be burnt out, struggling, and just need a little boost. And so by you all sharing why you got into coaching, why you do what you do, some qualities of a great coach, we'll hopefully accomplish that today. So without further ado, I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourselves. And again, a lot of your PFP Eldersburg community really is who you're talking to here. So you're probably reintroducing yourself again, but why don't we just do that? Go ahead and start with you.
Just what do you want to say?
Just your, just who you are, your name, your background, why you got into coaching.
Okay, I'm JJ. Been at PFP for about 9 years.
He's the diaper one. Yep.
I started, I think, seventh grade summer. I started training back in PFP.
What year was that?
What year? What were we in 2023 now?
It's like 2016.
2016.
2016.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 months after you guys opened.
That's crazy.
2016. So I trained for about 8 years, and then a summer and a half ago, I started coaching, or no, internship senior year of high school, internship or apprenticeship freshman year of college, and then that's really when I started finding my passion and finding what I really wanted to do with life, and then decided to drop out of college. I was playing baseball at Messiah University.
We didn't make him drop out of college, by the way. I just want to clarify that. It's a personal decision.
So dropped out this past year, and then really just kicked off my full-time coaching.
We'll get back to that story, because that's a pretty funny story of how that all unfolded. All right, next up, Adam.
All right, so my name is Adam. I've been here for about 2-3 months. I think it's day 55 or something like that. This kind of training in PFP is brand new to me. I've never heard of PFP until you guys came to this location. I worked at the physical therapy clinic for a year that was right down the street. And before that, I was in college, finished 4 years of college, got my master's in hospitality management, kind of switched careers. And the only thing throughout college that stayed consistent was the gym and my fitness journey. And I realized how much I loved it. So I kind of started my own business there on the side while doing physical therapy. I started training a couple people here and there, and then I heard of PFP, and I was like, let's turn this into a career.
Interesting. Hospitality management.
Yep.
So obviously you've been around PFP long enough now to know that we value hospitality greatly. So how did that, I mean, was that like ironic to you when you saw like and started to get into the trenches of PFP and realize like, wow, this is kind of like hospitality? Hopefully that's what you saw.
Yeah, I definitely saw that piece as being around hospitality and using it to my advantage.
Yep.
So
the degree wasn't a complete waste.
No, not a complete waste. Yeah, no. But yeah, I think it's definitely useful to be around people constantly and learning how to talk to people. This is definitely a different vibe. Everybody is usually motivated and very upbeat and ready to go, and they want to be here and they want to change their lives. Different aspects of hospitality is a little bit different, not always the most joyful,
sure.
But this is a great change of pace, and I'm looking forward to keep it going.
Yeah. So sports career-wise, we'll go back to you, Adam. So give us like your sports background. I don't even know all this information, so I'm learning too. Did you play sports, I'm assuming, growing up?
Yep, all of them.
Okay.
Yep. So
all of them?
Yeah, all of them. So, except rugby. I never played rugby. But I've played everything: baseball, football, soccer, basketball. Basketball was for half a season maybe because I was so bad when I was about 8 years old. And then 7th, 8th grade, I found lacrosse, and that was my passion sport. So I played all 4 years of high school. Didn't really play on the field on varsity, played JV, but not really at all on varsity. And then went to college, didn't go out for the varsity team, but played club lacrosse, and it was an absolute blast. Played nonstop, made a bunch of friends, so that was a great experience.
What was your favorite thing about playing sports?
I think the competitiveness and having to invest in yourself really and make yourself better. I'm all about the message of making the change to get better in some way. Fitness, sports, life, spiritually, relationship-wise, whatever it may be, just try to be a better person.
Making the change to get better.
Yes.
We're going to get back to that one and how you've found yourself doing that for other people, especially the athletes you work with, the adults you work with. What is it about your coaching that allows them to do that very thing? Because change is the hardest thing for most people. So we'll get back to that question. JJ, sports background.
So most of the time I was just playing baseball, probably since I was like 5 or 6, so about 15, 14 years of baseball. High school I played soccer, track, indoor track.
How did soccer go for you? I know you're great with your hands, but I don't know about your feet.
No, so I started as the striker, so I'd just run as fast as I could and just kick the ball. But then they moved me to goalie because our team was not very good. They probably haven't won a game. I think it's like 8 seasons now.
Oh, okay.
So they moved me to goalie.
So the bar was fairly low, so you could step in and kind of do your thing.
Everyone made the team, so I just played goalie because they had like 40 shots on goal a game. So
got it. Okay.
So yeah, and I played basketball. I played in 8th grade, and then I stopped playing most of the sports. Just played baseball, dabbled in track, and then senior year I played basketball again, but I dislocated my knee 1 week before the season, and then wasn't able to play that. So
was that patella you dislocated?
Yeah, I dislocated also sophomore year.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and was out for that basketball season, so I didn't even try out.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just played baseball throughout high school, won state championship my senior year, and then eventually...
Did you really? You won states?
Yeah.
Let's go. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then, because of COVID junior year, or was it junior year? I think it was junior year, either sophomore or junior year, recruiting didn't go as well for almost everyone throughout the country, because coaches didn't know what the rules were, and then people were coming back to school and college, so then they were losing roster spots for people graduating high school. So then it was really a weird spot for people looking to play college. Some people were taking gap years, going to community college. I got lucky enough that one of my best friends was already looking at a school, and he gave me the contacts to a school in Messiah. It was up in PA, and then I finally committed there my senior year. It was early senior year, and then I played there for 2 years, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Then you just went to coach, and you were like, "Hey, coach, I'm not coming back."
Yeah, that was
pretty funny conversation. He just goes to coach like, "Hey, coach,
funny.
Sitting in our meeting, and it's like, hey, I'm just not coming back. I'm just going to go train athletes."
Yeah, that didn't go well.
Takes some courage, though. You had to make a change to get better in your life, right? So you could help other people get better. All right, so I'm curious why you guys really got into coaching. PFP, our little mantra is, what's your why? So, when you really think about the real reason, the thing that took you over the edge to say, hey, I'm going to work mornings, work evenings, give up other careers that could potentially take me to routes of more money and all these other things. No, I'm going to invest my life in coaching and turn it into something great. Why? What really made you make that decision? I don't care who goes first. You can thumb wrestle over it if you want.
I'll go first. So for me, it was my own fitness journey. It started freshman year of college. I told my sister, I was like, hey, this is the big year. I'm starting college. I'm gonna go. I have access to the gym all the time. It's right down the street, 2-minute walk, easy peasy. I'm gonna come home next summer, jacked as anything. So that was my goal. I just hyped myself up, and I stuck with it freshman year. I got pretty lean, but I was small, so I wasn't putting on muscle mass. I wasn't eating very much, and I saw that. And then sophomore year, put on some weight, too much bad weight. So sophomore year and junior year, we got sent home because of COVID. So put on some weight that I didn't want. And then during COVID, I was so bored, I didn't know what to do, so I took on social media to try to inspire other people to start fitness while they could do nothing at home. And then I got in some of the best shape of my life during COVID, because working out outside is all I could do. So that's how I started. I started posting on social media, and I was like, this is just a burning passion of mine. I'm absolutely in love with it. There's always ways you can get better and improve. And I was like, I have to show people that this is possible, because over COVID, suicide rates were skyrocketing, obesity was at an all-time high, and people were just, their lives were declining. So I was like, this world has to change, and I gotta show them anybody, no matter how little amount of people it is, I got to show people it's possible. So that's what kind of struck the spark in me.
Yeah, that's powerful. So it sounds like part of it was birthed from you had tried for a couple of years to figure out how to get into the shape that you personally wanted to get into. So you failed a couple times for a couple of years until you finally figured out the sauce for you.
Yes.
And then it kind of led towards, over COVID, seeing people struggling with a lot worse than just what you were struggling with, which is, I want to put on some size, right? Yeah. You saw people struggling deeper and then fitness could help them. Is that kind of the gist of it? Yeah. Nice. Basically. All right, that's cool. What about you? Why'd you decide to, I mean, you were around PFP for 7 years, right? You saw how crazy we were. And then you were like, yeah, I still want to be part of the team and work and train people. Well, I mean, what on earth led you to that decision?
Yeah, I think it started all probably back 6, 7 years ago, but I didn't know it was happening. I think just the atmosphere and the passion that each coach has at PFP, whether it's Eldersburg or Frederick, it creates something inside you that you really don't even know till 2, 3, 4, me, like 6, 7 years past to finally realize like what an impact that it had on me. For me, I was always on the smaller side. I was always scrawny, short. I think freshman year I was probably about like 5'4", 95, 100 pounds, which if you look at all athletes coming in, most of them are that size. Like that's just like the normal size now. But back then everyone was bigger than me, so I was always like the smaller size, and I was training hard 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 6 days a week for I'd say 5 years probably. And I don't think it was till really junior or even probably senior year I finally saw results. And I think that's what really stuck with me. I was like, and decided like through all the mentorship and all like the mindset piece is really what kept my confidence up, not failing because like I'm not seeing those results. But one of our what are they called, pillars I guess, is root before fruit, and I think that's really what stuck with me through all 7 years. Because yeah, you're not gonna see results 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks, a month, 3 months, 5 months. Sometimes you don't even see it. For me, it was 7 years. So like knowing how much investment that you have to put in, the consistency that you have to put in to actually see the results you want really shows. Some people it is a year, some people it's 3 months, but if you don't keep that consistency and don't put all that effort in, then you're really not gonna see the results that you want. And for me, it was putting in all that effort for 7 years and just relying back on the coaches that I trust them to get me where I wanna be and where I should be. And that's really when I was like, okay, that's what I want to do for other people. I was able to see what it impacted me and how it impacted me, not just as physical and mental, but really just as a person in life. It really showed how much better I got throughout from 7th grade all the way up to senior year, how I grew as a person, not just as an athlete. And I think that's what the biggest part that I look forward to now is coaching. It's how can I impact the younger generation to see the results, not just on the field in the classroom, but like outside of that and as a person, just growing from middle school to high school all the way up to college.
Dude, that's awesome. So, okay, so you just hit on the #1 barrier most people have that stops them from coming into a place like PFP, from starting their fitness journey as an athlete, from starting to go down the path of getting bigger, stronger, faster. The #1 barrier that stops people is the perceived timing of achievement, right? Like, how long is this gonna take me? Right? I want it fast. And so that's the #1 thing that stops people. So your story and your story both included long periods of time, right? So how do you and what do you say to the person who that is their thing right now? They're like, I just don't know if it's gonna be worth it. Because honestly, like I would just assume bigger muscles alone probably isn't worth 7 years of doing something. I mean, it's not that fulfilling. I don't think. That's my personal opinion, but I think a lot of other people would have trouble finding the motivation to get going and keep going just to have bigger muscles after 7 years. Unless they want to be like Mr. Olympia and make millions of, yeah, right. Actually, I don't even know how much Mr. Olympia makes. $50,000. Okay, so that's not worth it for 7 years in my opinion. There's a lot of other easy ways to make money. So anyway, my question is like, what do you say to that person then that is struggling with that as their barrier? Why is it worth it?
I think just knowing it'll come. No matter how long it'll take, you have a goal, and it comes down to how bad you want it. It will come. It might take a long time, but you just got to keep with it, and your goal can get met. Was the goal itself and achieving that what was most valuable to you, or was it something else along the way that was so valuable? Like, why is it so valuable to pursue some sort of a goal? I think to prove to yourself that you can do something and you have value and you're good at something, and even if you're not good at something, you're trying something in order to get better. And I just think that's a big confidence thing. It's a perseverance thing. It says a lot about your character. So confidence comes from that journey. Perseverance comes from that journey. That's good. Yeah. Anything to add on that?
Yeah, I think it goes back down to why you're doing it, and you might, your first reason why is going to be because I want to get stronger, I want to look stronger, but then it comes down to more identity piece, like why do you want to get stronger? Is it just so you're better than other people in the field, or you look better than other people? That's what we talked about this week. It was like self-value. If you put your value in a sports player, then you're going to go through your life, and then when that ends, what are you going to do? But if you don't put your value in yourself earlier on in your life, when your sports career ends, you're not going to know what to do, and you're not going to have value, and you're going to fall probably into a dark place. But if you can find earlier on to put your value in yourself, and those goals are surrounded by your self-worth and your self-value, then that's really when you're going to see changes start to happen, and that's when you're going to find deeper motivation to keep going and achieve those goals rather than just substantial goals.
What motivates you as a coach now? What's most motivating to you as a coach? What do you enjoy most about what you get to do day in and day out?
I think for me, it's every day we come in, and whether it's the same kids or different kids that we see on a weekly basis, it's just the energy that we can bring for them and that they bring back to us, just the joy that they have coming into a place that most people on a regular basis, if you walk out and ask them what a gym is, they'll say, it's not fun, you get to go crush yourself, but people come in and they
that sounds fun for some people.
Yeah, but people come in and they have joy when they come in. Usually in a commercial gym, you come see people, they have their heads down, they don't talk to anyone, but here at PFP, they come in and they look for community, and they come for the community. They don't really come they come for the workout, but more so they come for the comforting and the love that we can give them, and just have joy and fun with them when they work out. They don't have to just cry and not have fun when they work out.
The bigger muscles does help though too, right? They want that too. Anything from your perspective?
My motivation is making that change. That's why it started for me, and I get to come in here every single day and show people that it's possible by making the smallest change. Like the first step is getting a workout in, then 2 times a week, then looking into nutrition and how you're eating. It's one step at a time, and you're making the biggest changes in your life and you don't even realize it. So I get to come in and show people that every day, and I love it.
So it's the small, manageable changes over time that lead to results that's most motivating, 100%. Seeing people make those. Yep. Which kind of goes back to people's barrier of like, is it going to take forever? Well, you don't have to start out doing 8 days a week, right? It's probably going to be pretty demotivating if you do that, because you won't be able to move the next day. So that's good stuff. Okay, so what, last question, maybe 2. What would you guys say are the qualities of the best coaches you've ever personally had or seen, whether it's a coach in the fitness industry, whether it's a sports coach you had? Like, what makes a coach great, in your opinion?
Motivating you and pushing you past your limits. I think mentally, everybody has a block, and they have no clue what they're capable of. I've had so many people say they can't do something. And I say, stop right there. You can't say you can't, because you can. And then I either take a stopwatch from them, load them up with more weight, say let's go, clap in their face, do whatever they need to keep going, and they do it. They literally do something they thought they couldn't do. So it's just crazy motivation. I'm all about motivation. So I think motivation and pushing and being there for somebody mentally is one of the better qualities a coach can have.
I think though that, so motivation is great, but what you just said though, is it's something that you probably do naturally, but the best motivators might not do this. It's like after you've motivated somebody, it's reminding them they did that and they can do it again. Because if all you do is motivate somebody, then of course, like, they're gonna think that they need you there every single time. But what you do is you give them that like reminder of like, I told you could do this, and you can do that too, and you can do that too, right? That's awesome, man. Give me chills.
And that's what I say a lot during the workouts. I always follow it up with, that was all you.
That was all you. That's
awesome. All you.
What about you, JJ? What do you think the qualities of the greatest coaches in the world are?
I think the first one is a listener. I think people are always getting told to, and then no one else is hearing what they have to say. I think if you can listen to what your clients want, then that's when you can really encourage them and motivate them in ways that they've never received, because they're always listening, or they're always having people talk to them and they're always listening. They never get someone to actually listen to them. And then once you find out what they truly want, that's when you can push them in ways that they need pushed. And then after that is when you have to follow up and always give that reassurance that they did it, you can do more, and that you're really going towards that goal that you want deep down, not just the substantial goal, and that you have to keep encouraging them on that deeper level, because anyone can go tell them that you can do more weight. But if you're not really driving that deep goal of why they want to do it and why you can keep pushing them in that way, I think that's when you can really get more results, and that they'll keep coming back to you, because that's when you're really hitting their deep why. That's what people really want, I think.
I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah, being a good listener. You don't hear that every day about what is a great coach. It's like a great listener first. That's really awesome. Is there anything else about you that either the PFP community or coaches out there should know about you?
That's a tough question.
Besides that your microphone that we were supposed to be using didn't work. Adam,
yeah.
Come on, man.
That's my bad. Sorry if you can't hear
PFP
this.
made me drop out of school.
We inspired them.
I think PFP answered my prayers.
All right.
In a lot of different ways.
That's cool.
We'll leave it at that.
How about you? Anything else PFP community should know about you?
You don't know till you ask. I think there's many unanswered places for a lot of people, and if you're out there and you don't come to PFP, you don't know what PFP is. If you don't come in and ask, you won't know. And once you do know, your life will be changed.
Ooh, I like that. Good stuff. Well, guys, thanks for sharing a little bit about you, and appreciate you. I really do appreciate you for how much you give and what you do. The feedback loop is long in this industry, coaching people, especially young people. I mean, it might not be until 5 years from now that you see the impact that you had made, but you guys show up every day in the trenches and you're pouring in. And some days you probably feel like a lot of these coaches that might be watching this, where it's like, am I even making a difference? It's like, yes, 100% you are. So appreciate you and all you do. Coaches out there, keep on coaching, keep on fighting the good fight, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Peace out.